Well, we got a lot to do today, but and we've said this before that we want it to stay as positive as we can, but for those who don't know this, comedy lost one of their best yesterday. Vic Henley passed away, and anybody who's listened to this channel for a long time knows that Vic was part of the team that Opie put together in his, post O&A world. And Vic has done our show many, many times, and always we had a good time. Matter of fact, he was one of our last in-studio guests.
Yeah.
And just a couple days ago, he put up the picture that Earl took. He really dug that picture for whatever reason. But it's a very rough one, Gail.
Yeah. Everybody is so crushed, and obviously with everything going on, it feels like everything feels so surreal. So this was such a shock to get this news last night. Honestly, I think we were all so stunned. It's been hard to even process it, even the way that we normally would about hearing about a friend passing away. But all the things that you could say about this guy, it sounds like the things that people say about people when they pass away, but it's true of him. He had the best laugh, was always smiling, was such a joy to be around, and such a great conversationalist.
Right.
He always surprised me with the places that he could go and talk about anything. And honestly, I'm so grateful for all these really cool conversations that we got to have with him. He was really, really just such a joyful person. Everybody on our team really, really loved him.
Well, it was always, it was great for us when he came in because we knew we would get that last hour, pretty much on cruise control because you could not bring up a topic that he didn't already have opinions about, and then B, knew somebody, from the conversation. So, he's from, I don't know, bumfuck Alabama is the only, he would always tell us how small the town is, but then he'd be like, did I tell you, Joe Perry used to sit behind me in history class? There would always be this connection to some celebrity or, artist or whatever.
I honestly, and I think that that's such a funny thing to bring up too, because his accent, for any stereotype that you could ever imagine with somebody with that accent, he could say or discuss or have interest in something that you would never pair with that. And just thinking of him talking about the Harlem Renaissance or Jean-Michel Basquiat, always coming out of his mouth was always so funny to me. He could go any place. He had so many interests. Really, really a fun conversationalist.
And, here's the other thing about Vic, because people saying, oh, he knew a lot about music or books or what, but the good shit, you know what I mean? You never said to Vic Henley, oh, why are you listening to that shit? Even when it came to, the Stones or something, he knew the good Stones. You know what I mean? He wasn't going to give them a pass on everything, But everything that he used to talk about, I was always laughing to myself, thinking, well, he's, he likes the right part of this.
Yeah, that's very true.
Even on the road, when he would go out and do tours, he was with two of our favorite comics. He was always either opening for Ron White or Kathleen Madigan. And those are, out of that whole genre of those folks, those are the best. Those are the best. And that's his best buddies. I can't even think about them today. You know what I mean? I'm sad for us. Obviously, I'm sad for Ope because he's lost two people of that crew.
So close together, too.
Yeah. He picked three guys, and in the last, I don't know what it is, several months, two of them are gone. So I mean, all this stuff. It's just it's crazy, heartbreaking. But so glad that we know him. So glad that we had the experiences that we had with him. And people would write that he never said a bad thing about anybody. If you ever remember, Gail, if he talked about any comic, it was always, he'd be laughing, telling you the story. If there was, anytime he talked about his brothers, it was always with a lot of pride. Anytime he ever talked about anybody from Alabama, it was with an amazing amount of pride. I only knew him to have beef with one person, Jeffrey Gurian.
That's right. That's
was
very,
not
very
a fan
true.
of Jeffrey Gurian.
That is very true. I had completely forgotten about that.
I always remember it.
Yeah, it's such like a shocking loss, and I really am so stunned about it. And this morning, even last night, I felt so weird, and this morning I just thought, with everything going on, and I'm normally so easy to, my emotions are so raw normally, and I just feel so strange. It feels just like otherworldly to me. It's just such a shock to lose that guy.
Yeah, it is. And, we were just feeling so rough for East Side Dave, losing his dad. And, it was like a 1-2 punch. Oh. Yeah, it's just too much sad news. I know everybody was like, oh, I can't wait for 2020, but I got to be honest, I'm not that crazy about it.
It hasn't been so great for me either.
It hasn't been a really great year. And I'm not saying all of it is the corona. There's even other things that are annoying.
Yeah, something's
like,
just...
I can't even enjoy ESPN. And there was a headline when I turned it on today where they said coronavirus and sports info. And I'm like, I don't need an extra channel for coronavirus. And then I feel bad for him because I have the feeling the entire time that they're talking about the football season, that's all they talk about now. They're never like, oh, basketball will be back. They just talk about football, and you're just like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's going to be. And they put out the power rankings, and they put the Bucks way up higher than they've been in years. Like the Bucks are ranked higher than the Patriots now.
That's ridiculous. That's just fucking. It's fever dream shit. They're just making shit up. That's not possible. No.
Chris Stanley going at ESPN pretty hard here today.
Yeah.
He's in a sensitive place.
Yeah. It's the Bennington show. I want to just say this. Brad Shelton said everything about Chris. The Centaur is bullshit. Gary is the name of SpongeBob's cat/snail. In the same episode, SpongeBob forgets to feed Gary for 3 weeks.
Oh, God.
And
so not only was his lie a lie, but then he created a lie about the lie.
Right. And then he says, and I'm 99% sure the calico cats are female, which I know nothing about that.
That is true. He's right.
It is true? So
Yeah,
Gary...
it's something like 80% of calicos are females or something. It's like a really weird disproportion.
So this guy was off by 19.9%.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he had listened to my very heartfelt apology, he would have realized I was lying about Gary the cat. Gary didn't exist. I've never owned a cat. I don't own a cat now. And I've never watched SpongeBob SquarePants, bro. Okay? So all that, your argument is broken apart.
Broken apart?
I mean, his points are destroyed by me.
The way you said SpongeBob SquarePants was just an obvious tell that you know who SpongeBob SquarePants is. Nobody's ever forgotten the name SpongeBob SquarePants.
I know. Like
Yeah.
yes. All right, Vito just busted you, Chris. You're a liar.
Broke it apart.
I've never seen SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay, I watched
Stop
that
it.
show. I'm just sick of people making up shit about me.
You're the
Dude,
worst part of
when-
2020.
You just came off a major lie, and you're saying you're sick of people making stuff up?
It's true. It's true. And people not listening to my apologies because I throw it all out there, okay?
You can't get angry that people don't accept your apology right away. And I'll just say this. Hypocrisy, you have met your match. For his name is Chris Stanley. The bread maker.
They call me the bread boy. A lot of people are coming up to me telling me about that.
How come you didn't
I
stick
think
with the nickname Yeasty Boy like I wanted?
I'm a yeasty boy. Hashtag dough bros. Hashtag bread bros.
I'll just say this. You leave your bread in the oven so long that it comes out toast.
Lightly toasted, Ron. The best.
Toast, anybody? Giant sourdough loaf of toast? Wasn't there a thing that there was some kind of a hot knife that when you cut the bread, it would kind of toast it?
Yeah, that was a
I
thing.
think it was a laser knife.
Yeah, and then there was that there was a Kickstarter knife that had a bunch of holes on one side and it was serrated on the other. So like it helps you spread butter on your breads. And I got that knife and it doesn't do shit.
On your breads.
What's it do for you? Spread your lies all around town about your fucking male calico?
I addressed all of those fucking lies, and I think I put it out there that, look, all right, I lied once about cats. It's fine now.
You lied when you said you saw the movie because you came back and gave it a rave. And then later you had to say, I got to be honest, I didn't even see the movie.
That's happened once or twice.
Stop trying to impress everybody, Chris, and just be fucking proud of yourself. Live a life.
I just want people to like me, and I want them to think I'm a big man. That's all I want.
You could hand out $100 bills and people still wouldn't like you, Chris.
By the way, people do think you're a big man.
Not in stature, just like a big, great man.
I wasn't talking about your height.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you all to a big, great man. A man who owns a cat. Hey, did you see that big, great man? Seems like he has a little tiny cat that he takes everywhere with him. He's
Cool.
really cool. Yeah.
Well, I respect him for that.
Yeah. Oh, boy. I feel bad about Vic.
Me too.
I wish I would have been able to move that nickname I had for him to Toothpick Vic. I tried it like 8 times. Never caught on.
I wish it could have.
And I only know it from Reservoir Dogs. I never heard that used anywhere else. I tried it for... what was that other producer, the one that you replaced, Chris?
Pitchy?
Pitsy, yeah. His girlfriend's name was Vicky, and I tried to move Toothpick Vic on her, and I got a little traction going, and enough that he quit and went back to Long Island.
You also tried it with Hard Rock Vic. Now, I guess,
Oh,
boss
yeah.
of the Hard Rock, now that Johnny's gone.
No. Johnny is trying to move the name Margaritaville J, and I'm like, I don't know. He wants everybody to call him Jay now that he has a new job.
I don't like it.
I don't either. And really, I mean, this isn't the tropics. Why are we going to have a Margaritaville up here?
Good point.
You're going to go, you're going to go to Margaritaville tonight? I don't know. It's snowing pretty hard. Might really just ruin the whole atmosphere for me. Margaritaville, can I take your galoshes and big fat fucking coat? Thank you. Oh, man. Gail, I'll say this about Vic Henley. He always adored you, right from Jump Street.
He was such a sweet guy to me, and yeah, right away. And maybe the only fan of my Friendly Blitz impression, which he made me do every time he was in. Just really, honestly, so sweet, and always, the kind of person who, like, you have a conversation and you don't see each other for a while, and then they remember everything you talked about and things that you referenced. Like, he just was such a thoughtful person, and to me and to everyone, you know what I mean? He really was a sweet person. And I see that Kathleen Madigan put some stuff up on her Twitter. It's just too heartbreaking. Think about the people he was closest with.
Oh, yeah, and I love Kathleen too. What did she put? Because I'm not over there.
She wrote just it's like 3 tweets long, just how they, her friend of 30 years who she's had so many memories with and fun times with, and all the music he turned her on to, and just what an amazing person. And then put a video up of the two of them just on a silly night dancing with each other, and it's so heartbreaking.
Oh God.
I'm really thinking about the people, especially that were closest to him.
Yeah, of course. And it was a lot of people, because he's been on the road forever. And, I mean, he was a guy who would go out to dinner all the time, go out to party with people. You know what I mean? Like, he was a very sociable guy. He wasn't like me, just locking himself up and wearing his underwear while he's doing work. You know what I mean? I wanted to write something on our Instagram about him, but after I read Opie's thing, I'm like, why don't I just copy Opie's thing and then say that I wrote it? But then I thought to myself, I'm not Chris Stanley. You know what I mean? Right. What I'm going to do, instead of steal somebody's thoughts, I'll credit them.
Yeah. Don't stoop to Chris's level.
No.
I would have forgiven you had you done that.
First of all, I'd have to dig a ditch and then lay down in it to get to Chris's level. He literally is less than 0.
Love that book. It's a compliment then.
Really? What do you love about the book?
I liked it.
I know it. Oh, Chris's favorite part of the book? Robert Downey Jr. See what I'm doing there, Gail? I'm saying that he saw the movie.
I got it.
You realize you got a TV set between your legs? Why did that guy act like LA was so shitty? Because he went back and people were partying and had a little bit of cash? Slow the fuck down, dude, before you start judging everyone. You were at Bennington College for fucking 3 weeks. Now you come back and everyone you grew up with is garbage? Maybe I went too hard. You know what I mean? I went a little too hard at him. It is the Bennington Show. Hanging out with you here today, as we said. We got, some sad news yesterday. Vic Henley passed away. Really just thinking about his family, his friends, and he was always a great guest on our show. We always enjoyed him. I'm trying to think how many people we know that actually read, no paintings, no film, no music, and then also are sports fans. It's a rare fucking thing to pull off.
That's very true. Yeah, there was nothing about him that was the usual in that way. Honestly, I don't think that there was ever a topic that we could go with that he didn't know, a vast amount and be able to talk about it. But yeah, like that combination of knowing that much about art and culture and then sports and current events, like he knew everything.
Yeah. He's the exact opposite of Chris Stanley. Mm-hmm. Get a hold of Earl for me real fast if you can, or I don't know whether we have time, Vito. If you don't have time, don't push yourself. Because I wanted to ask Earl why Vic liked that last picture that Earl took of him so much. Because remember, I think he was saying that he was upset because he was using an old picture for his his album, and he was also very happy that he had a piece of product out. And he was also happy that he was invited back into Sirius XM. He thought he had beef there, but I never knew anybody in the comedy department who had any problem with him or anywhere else. But he felt like he'd been fired twice, so he was starting to wonder if it was personal. Because he had hooked up with Sirius XM a couple times, but no, everybody only thought the nicest things about him. What's the story, Beats?
Waiting to hear back from Earl. He just called in. I'm gonna put him up.
Okay, thanks, buddy. Hey, Earl, what's happening?
Hello, everyone. How are you? Hey, Earl.
Oh, hi. Hey, Earl. Hey, Earl.
Hey.
We were talking about, for some reason, we just lost Vic Henley. For some reason, he loved that last picture you took of him.
Yeah, he was. I never met someone who was just so. You meet people that you feel like, and they treat you like they've known you your whole life. And that's how he treated me, and he seemed to treat everyone like that. And I remember his enthusiasm when we took the picture, and I show it to him, and his face just literally goes, "Oh man, that's great! Can I use this? Can I tag this?" And I was like, "Are you sure?"
He was looking. I think he told us that day that he was looking for a picture, right, Gail? Because he was
he did.
tired of the old one that was following him around everywhere,
Right?
Which happens all the time. Because like a lot of times, clubs will just go on Google Images. And I think we even talked about that, and they'll just yank one out, and it's just you at a party. Sweaty and weird, and then you just show up, and that's the picture they have at the club. Earl, I saw something in the news today. They were saying that a lot. Well, I don't know whether you know this or not, but the African American community has been hit harder with the corona thing, the COVID, and now a lot of African Americans say they will not wear a mask. And do you know why, Gail?
Why is that?
Earl, I bet you know. Go ahead. Why do you think African Americans don't want to wear masks?
I would assume that if you're walking into, let's say, a bank or
See? He exactly knew.
Got it.
Without reading the article, that they would feel like it would give a reason for them to be shot. Isn't that fucking unbelievable?
Yeah, that's really upsetting.
Yeah, I had to get my my ATM card replaced, and I'm walking into the local Chase here that's like 3 minutes away from me. And I'm walking in with my face is completely covered. I have glasses on. I have a dark coat on, and my hands are in my pockets. And I caught myself, and I went, I should take the sunglasses off like right now because this is not a good look.
That's so weird to me. That's so strange. But Earl, you've been fine? You haven't shown any problems? No one in your family has? Your parents are fine?
Parents are great. I'm doing great. My brother's doing great. Sisters, they're texting each other just saying how bored they are and how great everything is. They're all sharing pictures of kids and grandkids now. Everything's good.
Well, your family's always worked from home, which is nice.
Yeah, we're unique. We're definitely that.
Yeah. It's pilot season, Gail, and I'm pitching the show right now to ABC, and I told them this would be perfect to replace Modern Family. I think Modern Family's finale. Is it coming up this week, Vito?
Yeah, Wednesday. Tomorrow night is the finale.
The name of the finale is Gone Out with a Whimper. But I said it's time to replace that, and I've written up a sitcom. I call it Hey Earl, and stars Earl Douglas, and he just calls every single character Earl, no matter who they are.
Hey Earl. It's a great catchphrase.
Yeah, it really is. It's going to catch on. Remember your old catchphrase, Earl? Hey, hey, hey.
That was good
and
too.
He would say that, when he came into any room. Hey, hey, hey.
It's one of the
Whose was
best.
that, Earl? Do you remember that catchphrase?
That was Dwayne from What's Happening.
That's very good. Probably the greatest of all the What's Happening kids. I know the girls went for Rerun because he was a looker, but I always thought Dwayne had it all. And I honestly, somebody told me that was Dwayne Wade, that he grew up and became Dwayne Wade, which I hope is true. I really do. I just noticed this sitting here in my bare feet. My feet look like hooves. I'm concerned about it. All right, I'm sorry I stepped on you, Earl. We got a little lag here. What were you saying?
I was saying that What's Happening was kind of a loose spin-off of the movie Cooley High, which is one of the great. It was a very loose spin-off. They did a spin-off. They shot a spin-off, a direct spin-off of Cooley High. It didn't work, but some of the characters they really liked, and they retooled it, changed the names around, and it became What's Happening.
I don't think that's true, but I do appreciate the lie. Chris is normally my number one liar, but you're coming on strong, Earl. All right, buddy. We gotta let you go.
All right, hope everyone's well. Miss you guys.
Yeah, well, you can call or text anytime you want. You know us pretty well. Okay. Thanks.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye, Earl.
Peace. Bye, Earl. He never says bye. He's just gone.
No, that's his thing.
He's like the wind. Mm-hmm. He's like the wind.